Hi, it's Olly Richards here, and in this video we're going to talk about one of my favourite topics, which is 7 reasons that you are never too old to learn a foreign language. And the reason I like this topic so much is because I feel it's an area where I can make a real difference. I often have students who come to me or who find me online with this mindset of, I'm kind of trying to learn this language, Spanish, Italian, French, but deep down I think I'm too old. And the effect is that they actually don't really give it all they've got. But I'm able to show people that it's not true that you're too old to learn a language, and you can not only learn a language but have it change your life. And so I feel like, as this is a topic I can make a big difference on, hey, I enjoy it. So let's get into it. Number 1, the first and most important reason that you are never too old to learn a language is because there are plenty of examples around of other people at all ages who are successfully learning languages. And if it were possible to be too old to learn a language, then these people would not exist. Take Steve Kaufman, for example, the great Steve. He is, in his 70s, and as he writes on his own blog, he says, and he wrote this when he was 70, he said, "I'm a better language learner now than I was at 16. And there's a lot, this is a very important statement, and you'll see why in the rest of this video. But it's not just well-known figures like Steve. I have many students of a similar age who are finding fantastic success. For example, Michael here in Spain says, "I honestly thought that learning a new language was beyond me at my age. I found it hard to maintain interest after a few days and nothing seemed to be retained." But he was learning with me, and he said, "This is the right method for me. Already my ear is more tuned in." And then we have Sherry. "I've had a slow start because I don't have computer skills or a printer, but so far I'm loving this program, and I now believe, though I'm 68, I can and will learn to speak Spanish." So the point here is that there are people all around who are learning languages at all kinds of different ages. So let's dispense for once and for all with this idea that you can be too old to learn a language. And this brings us to reason number 2, which is the myth that children learn languages better than adults. Now, be honest, have you ever thought this before? Don't worry, you don't have to tell me. I know you have. Everybody has. We all look at kids and we think, wow, how can they learn languages so fast? But of course, the truth is that they don't learn languages fast at all. If you have ever had kids or been around kids, you will notice that from the day they're born to the day where they can actually speak at a fluent level, it is many, many, many years. Even a 10-year-old doesn't have complete command of the language, and that's after 10 years. So yes, children do go on to become native speakers of their language over time, but it's a lot of time, and it's far from efficient. What we can do as adults is bring our study skills to bear, our life experience, all these other things that we have that kids don't have. And so to say that you can't learn a language because you're not a child anymore is to really miss the point. So what is the point? Well, for me, the point is that you have your life experience, your entire life experience to bring to bear on the task of learning a language. And with, say, 70 years of life experience, there is so much you can do better than children or even younger adults. And I think this is what Steve was getting at when he said that he learns languages better at age 70 than he did at age 16. For example, one of the main tasks in learning a language is learning new words. And one of the older people tend to fall into the trap of saying, well, I have a bad memory, therefore I can't learn languages. But if you think about it, you have 70 years of experience of different things that you've come across and done in your life. And these things can all be applied to help you learn and remember things better. You've also got experience of learning and studying lots of things. Let's face it, you've been through a lot of stuff. I mean, I feel like I've been through a lot of stuff. I'm 39. If you're 70, you've been through twice as much stuff as me. And so approaching a task like learning a language, you can approach it in a much more mature way than younger people, and this is going to help you. But most importantly, if you've decided to learn a language at an older age, you're going to be able to appreciate it and enjoy it so much more than anyone else, because it's not about becoming fluent. That's not the point. I've learnt 10 languages myself, and I can tell you that after all this now, the thing that I appreciate more than anything else is not the people I can speak to. I appreciate the process and what the daily task of learning a language gives me in my life and enriches and the way in which it enriches my life. That's the point. And with life experience, you can really appreciate this so much more than people who are learning languages for a kind of instrumental reason, like a kind of better career or to meet girls or whatever it may be. Reason number 4 is that you know how you learn. through your career, through hobbies that you've picked up in the past, through books that you've read, through your memories from school. You know how you learn best, whether you like reading, whether you like speaking, whether you like learning through textbooks, whether you're a grammar fan. You know how you learn, and the evidence is all around you. One of the mistakes I think people make a lot of the time is, for example, just downloading all the apps they can find and assuming that because it's modern technology, it must be good. But look, if that doesn't suit the way that you learn and the way that you learn, then you're at cross purposes right from the beginning, right? So knowing how you learn and then finding language learning methods which work for you based on your knowledge of how you learn gives you a massive advantage, because ultimately, for any of us, knowing how we learn best is always going to be our own personal secret weapon. Reason number 5 that you are never too old to learn a language is that you are going to have a lot of self-discipline. And if you doubt me, take a look at the younger generation over there. They're on Instagram all the time. They're TikTok and whatever they do. Like, people, the modern generation has the attention span of a pea, and it's really concerning. And I personally think that this whole new social media world that kids are growing up in now is extremely dangerous, and is going to make it very, very difficult to actually do anything difficult in their lives. Whenever they come across adversity, they realize that actually life is not like it is on social media. They're gonna have trouble, right? But as an older person, you have self-discipline. You know what it means to turn off the internet because you have lived without it in the past. I'm actually really grateful that I learned my first foreign language in the days before there was anything useful on the internet, because I remember what it was like to learn a language from a textbook with no other resources. Being able to focus, being disciplined about turning up and studying every day is something that a lot of younger people really find difficult to do, and this is a big advantage for you. Reason number 6, and this is especially going to be true for you if you are retired and you no longer work, is the fact that you've got time. A lot of younger people just don't have time to do anything. In between working and studying and going out, they've got no time to do anything. But if you are older, if you're retired, if you have time, then this is a huge asset, because not only can you be consistent and devote some time to studying every day, which is one of the real keys to learning a language, is this consistency, but you can also take your time over it and enjoy the process a lot more. So having time is a big asset. And in case you doubt me, one of the top 3 questions, struggles that I always get from readers is, Ollie, I just don't have time. I've got 2 kids to look after, a school run, a busy job. If you're retired, if you've got time, then this is going to be one of your best friends. And lastly, reason number 7, and I think the most important reason of all why you are never too old to learn a language, is because it's not actually about becoming fluent in the language. Trust me, this is not the goal. Yes, I know you want to be able to speak it, and you will be able to, but it's not the real purpose of learning a language, especially when we come to do it for enjoyment, the real purpose is not to become fluent. It is to enrich our lives and to live with language learning as a part of our lives. That's the real benefit of doing this. And there are so many peripheral benefits. I mean, the number of peripheral benefits to learning a language are too many to mention. One of the big reasons for older people especially is brain health. Learning a language has been shown to delay the onset of dementia by up to 5 years. It's common to hear complaints about memory, but a very interesting recent study showed that a bad memory is a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning that if you believe that you have a bad memory, then your memory will actually deteriorate. Whereas if you believe that you have a good memory, or you can improve your memory, then your memory will actually strengthen. And this has been demonstrated in a fascinating study that I won't go into now. I'll put a link in the description below. There's more. It's about the social aspect of learning with other people. It's about getting to know a new culture and being able to learn, go to Italy and sit in a villa in Tuscany and drink some of that lovely wine, whatever it may be. It's enriching your life. That is the point of learning a language. It's not to become fluent. It's not to learn all the grammar. It's not to learn all the vocabulary. None of that stuff really matters. It's all about living a better life ourselves. And so for that reason, you can never, ever be too old to learn a new language. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you think about this. If you'd like to learn more about me and how I can help you learn a language with an interesting method called story learning, which might be up your street if you are fed up with smartphone apps that don't seem to do the trick, then head over to iwillteachyoualanguage.com and you can have a browse around there and look at what we do. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like more, and I'll see you in the next video.